The agreement signed during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US will have a major impact on India's defense sector. To talk about this, we are joined by Dr. Jegannathan, professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University, who has been tracking the defense sector for the last 15 years. Let's start by asking him the most important impact of the Indo-US agreements that are going to be signed during Prime Minister Modi's visit.
This visit of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is considered as the most significant, particularly for the defense sector. There are two aspects to it. One is, as you mentioned, there are a couple of agreements are tabled and to be signed. One of the most important significant agreement is to sort of jointly develop the defense critical defense technologies like the engines for the fighter crafts, like for instance F-16. With collaborations with Lockheed Martin. It is one of the most famous, reputed, the American manufacturing fighter craft manufacturing company. The other aspect is India is also expected to receive sort of dozens of the high altitude long endurance drones, which is very crucial for our surveillance against China in the LAC in Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh region. The third aspect is that we are going to sign a very important agreement called the Basic Engagement and Cooperation Agreement, which is very crucial for our intelligence sharing, space technology and space sharing, and that will also help India to monitor and track our enemies' placements and maneuvering in India's borders.
Okay, now let's take these points one by one. First of all, the impact of the Reaper drones. They are going to be used by the Air Force also, the Navy also, the Army also. How useful will it be in the Indian Ocean region, in the northwestern border, and also in the border with China, as explained by you earlier?
In today's warfare, the drones plays an important role, and it is a game changer. And India has been actively working to make a theatre commands. Theatre command means where the tri-services like Army, Navy, Air Force, they will collectively be placed in one particular place, and in that way the drones will help in India to augment its surveillance against enemies. Not only surveillance, if required, it can also strike the enemy targets. So drones is very crucial. It has a stealth. It will evade radar tracking by the enemy radars. So it is a very crucial, and these drones will help. Already we have an agreement with Israel for drones, but those drones are having some particular specified role, but these American drones will help India, especially in high altitude during the peak winter seasons where the temperature goes minus 40 degrees Celsius.
Secondly, about the engines for the defense aircraft. This is going to be a game changer decision. The technology will be transferred to India and manufacturing will be done in India. Like Apple phones are manufactured and exported from India, do you see a situation where aircraft engines are manufactured in India and exported to other countries?
Yeah, I think India's defense industry is going through a rapid changes in the past 2 years after the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched Atmanirbhar Bharat and manufacturing, indigenizing the productions of Indian defense products. And also we have also allowed 100% FDI investments in the defense sector, whereas our local companies can collaborate with the foreign companies and jointly produce weapon systems, the future generation weapon systems. Under this policy, that this is the most significant, the F-16, which is manufactured by the Lockheed Martin company, have been trying to establish sort of a joint venture manufacturing plant unit in India. Under this, probably this agreement, it will facilitate India to jointly manufacturing fighter engine, especially for the F-16 series in India. And this will have a commercial impact on India's defense industries, and it will overall enhance our defense, the revenue generated from the India's defense manufacturing and also export to the other countries.
This shows a lot of trust between the US and India. And can you explain a little bit about the Howitzer program? What is the plan for that?
The Howitzer 777, it is one of the most efficient artillery gun. India has bought, I think, couple of years back. We have got this Howitzer, and this is the last purchase of an artillery gun after the Bofors, which was bought in 1991, and that entered into a lot of controversies. And we could see the effect of the Bofors in Kargil war. So Howitzer is much more sophisticated, much more agile in terms of you can shift the Howitzer artillery guns, and it will enhance our operational capabilities, especially the army. So this existing Howitzer has a limited range, like 24 kilometers, maybe extended to, let's say, 40 kilometers. But in region like now, after the Chinese incursion in Ladakh, LAC, in 2021 Galwan crisis, it is a very difficult terrain, the folded mountains. So where the artillery guns plays an important role. And the Howitzers plays an important role because you can easily shift from one place to one place. So under this new agreement, this Howitzer, we can expand the range, maybe 40 to 60 or 70 kilometers, and that will even enhance our operation capabilities.
The information sharing between the US and Indian intelligence will bring the two countries closer and help in action against terrorism, etc. At the same time, India has a long tradition of defense cooperation with Russia, and even now also, after the Ukraine war, India has been buying crude oil from the Russians at a discounted price. In such a situation, the agreements with the US, what kind of impact will it have on the relationship with Russia?
So I think these, let's not couple our relationship with the US with our relationship with Russia, because it is both are different and standalone, and both had rich history and heritage, I would say. We value our relationship with Russia. It is a long-term friend since 1971 war, and we have been importing weapons system from Russia since 1970s. Our relationship is different and unique with Russia. Similarly, our relationship with the US gradually improved since 2002 Vajpayee's visit. Until then, that India is seen as a part of Russia's geopolitical game. India maintained the strategic autonomy in the region. But now, of late, what happened is that America's power is in global influence is gradually declining with the rise of China, and US needs a reliable, ideological partner or a friend in the region. So India, as being the biggest democracy in the world, and the US is a democratic country, so we are natural friends or natural allies. But when it comes to the defense sector, cooperation in the defense sector or the intelligence sharing sector, this has been happening since 2001, because both in India and US faced a common threat called terrorism. So that provided a common platform for us to collaborate and share intelligence. So this agreement which I mentioned, that basic engagement cooperation agreement, which is essentially to facilitate the intelligence sharing between US agencies and Indian agencies, is going to be a game changer when it comes to India's monitoring the terrorism, especially emanating from our neighborhood Pakistan, and also in the region Jammu and Kashmir.
India's defense cooperation with the US is on the verge of new milestone, and the new chapter will have a lot of impact in the years to come. With camera person Ramarajan, this is Ganapati Subramaniam for the Federal from New Delhi.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.